13. Luxury brands have been caught exploiting workers while charging customers 50 times the actual production cost. What you are about to discover will completely change how you see every Made in Italy label. When you pick up a Dior handbag with a $2,780 price tag, you are holding something that cost exactly $57 to make. That's not a typo. Italian prosecutors discovered that Dior paid suppliers 53 euros per piece for bags they sell for 2,600 euros, a markup of 50 times the production cost. But the real scandal is not just the astronomical markup, it is how those bags actually get made. In June 2024, Italian authorities raided factories supplying Dior and found workers sleeping in cardboard cubicles hidden behind wooden wardrobes. These were not temporary accommodations. Investigators knew workers were living there because electricity usage never stopped, running 24 hours a day. Workers earned as little as €2.75 per hour, well below Italy's minimum wage of over 10 euros, for shifts lasting up to 15 hours. The Dior scandal was just the beginning. By December 2025, prosecutors had named 13 luxury brands suspected of using subcontractors who exploited migrant workers, including Gucci, Prada, Versace, Yves Saint Laurent, Ferragamo, Dolce & Gabbana, and Missoni. But here is what you need to understand about what Made in Italy actually means. Under Italian law, for a product to carry the Made in Italy label, only the last substantial transformation needs to happen in Italy. This creates a massive loophole. A handbag could be 90% manufactured in China, then have its final zipper attached in Italy, and legally carry the Made in Italy label. The law focuses on the last major step, not where the majority of the work happens. Italy produces about half the world's luxury fashion items through 60,000 businesses employing 600,000 workers. But here is what the luxury brands do not want you to know. This production happens through what prosecutors describe as an intricate and vast web of small family-owned artisan workshops. These fragmented production processes make oversight nearly impossible, and that is exactly how brands want it. Let us look at the numbers. Armani bags retailing for 1,800 euros were being made by Chinese subcontractors for 93 euros, then sold to Armani through an intermediary for 250 euros. The final markup was 19 times the actual production cost. Loro Piana allegedly sells cashmere jackets for 3,000 euros that cost only 100 euros to produce through subcontractors, a 30-fold markup. But the most shocking discovery was in Prato, a city outside Florence that has become the epicenter of this scandal. As many as 50,000 Chinese workers live and work there, producing clothes labeled Made in Italy. According to local officials, about 90% of these factories break the law in various ways. They estimate that 40,000 Chinese workers sew 1 million garments every day in Prato alone, generating 2 billion euros annually. The working conditions are devastating. In May 2025, authorities found 10 Chinese workers, 5 undocumented, forced to work up to 90 hours a week for as little as 4 euros per hour. Prosecutors discovered workers sleeping in plasterboard cubicles amid rolls of fabric, food leftovers, and dangling electric cables. The exploitation was so systematic that Milan's prosecutor described it as so entrenched and proven that it could be considered part of a broader business policy exclusively aimed at increasing profit. The tragedy of Prato became literal in 2013 when a fire killed 7 workers as they slept in cardboard cubicles at a workshop. This was not an accident waiting to happen. It was the inevitable result of a system designed to extract maximum profit while ignoring basic human dignity. Here is how the system works. Luxury brands impose predatory prices on contractors that are deliberately too low to be sustainable. Those contractors have no choice but to subcontract to second and third tier suppliers, where oversight disappears entirely. Many of those suppliers are shell companies. Prosecutors found that some accredited subcontractors had no manufacturing equipment, not even sewing machines. They existed purely to hide the real production chain. The inspection system is deliberately broken. All audits are scheduled, which means factory owners know exactly when inspectors are coming. A former sustainability director said inspectors are not incentivized by fashion houses to find problems. Some inspectors are reprimanded for including too many details in their final reports. Brands willingly turn a blind eye to child labor and forced labor rather than interrupt production. When confronted with evidence, luxury brands claim ignorance. Loro Piana said their supplier did not inform Loro Piana of the existence of these subcontractors and that they terminated relations in less than 24 hours. But prosecutors found that brands like Todd's and Loro Piana could not have been unaware that suppliers were externalizing production since those suppliers had no production equipment in their facilities. The financial impact has been swift. LVMH shares dropped 4.5% when the Dior investigation was announced. By 2024, nearly 5,000 factories making clothing, textiles, and leather goods had closed. More than 2,000 factories in Italy's key luxury manufacturing sector shut down in just the first 3 quarters of 2024 alone. Consumer sentiment is shifting dramatically. Social media feeds once filled with luxury unboxing videos now feature posts calling out supply chain scandals and questioning eye-popping prices. Some consumers are embracing superfakes, no longer believing authentic luxury goods are worth the money. The number of luxury consumers dropped from 400 million in 2022 to 340 million in 2025. The industry is experiencing its first significant slowdown since the Great Recession. Only about 1/3 of luxury brands emerged from 2024 with positive growth, down from 2/3 the previous year. Profit margins have fallen back to levels last seen in 2009, dropping from a peak of 23% in 2012 to an expected 15 to 16% in 2025. New regulations are coming that will fundamentally change this system. The European Union Corporate Sustainability Due Diligence Directive, which came into force in July 2024, requires companies to monitor and prevent labor abuses in their supply chains. Penalties can reach up to 5% of global revenue, a potentially devastating financial blow for companies like LVMH, which generated 84.7 billion euros in revenue in 2024. Under court supervision, some brands are making changes. Armani has updated its corporate governance, mapped its supplier base, and established new oversight bodies. LVMH has conducted over 5,000 audits across its Italian supply chain since 2024 and is doubling down on vertical integration to control working conditions. But critics argue these voluntary measures miss the point entirely. Deborah Lucchetti from Clean Clothes Campaign says, "The phenomenon highlighted by the Milan prosecutor's office is structural in nature and cannot be resolved in a short time, certainly not by a voluntary protocol that does not address the root causes, unfair commercial practices and predatory prices imposed by brands on suppliers." Italy's government has proposed a voluntary certificate for luxury companies to show compliance with current law. Critics call it toothless because it would be voluntary and would shield brands from liability. Industry Minister Adolfo Urso claims the reputation of Made in Italy brands is under attack, but that misses the fundamental issue. The luxury industry built its business model on a LIE. While marketing heritage, craftsmanship, and exclusivity, they have created a system of exploitation that would make fast fashion blush. The Italian fashion industry employs 600,000 people, many working in conditions that violate basic human rights, so that brands can achieve profit margins that peaked at 23%. This is not about a few bad actors or isolated incidents. When prosecutors describe exploitation as structural and as part of a broader business policy, they are revealing that the entire system is designed this way. The fragmented production network, the shell companies, the scheduled inspections, the impossibly low contractor prices, all of it serves to create plausible deniability while maintaining maximum profit. What's particularly galling is that consumers are unknowingly funding this system. Every time someone pays 2,600 euros for a bag that costs 53 euros to make, they are not just overpaying, they are subsidizing a system that relies on worker exploitation. The luxury industry has convinced consumers that astronomical prices reflect quality and craftsmanship, when in reality, they reflect the absence of ethical oversight. The Made in Italy label was originally created in the 1980s to combat counterfeiting and protect Italian manufacturing. Instead, it has become a cover for some of the most exploitative labor practices in the fashion industry. Chinese entrepreneurs began arriving in Prato in the mid-1990s, and when China entered the World Trade Organization in 2001, it transformed the Italian manufacturing landscape entirely. Today, an estimated 36% of Italy's fashion factories are Chinese-owned, producing goods with Italian labels for global luxury brands. The irony is stark. Products made by Chinese workers in Italy command premium prices specifically because they are not made in China. The investigation continues to expand. What started with Dior and Armani in early 2024 has grown to encompass 13 major brands by December 2025. More revelations are likely as prosecutors dig deeper into this web of exploitation. The luxury industry now faces a choice. They can continue the current system of plausible deniability and voluntary compliance, hoping to weather this storm like they have previous scandals. Or they can fundamentally restructure their business model to prioritize worker welfare over profit margins. Given that LVMH alone turned 84.7 billion euros in revenue into 19.6 billion euros in operating profit last year, there is clearly room in these budgets for ethical production. The question is not whether luxury brands can afford to pay living wages, it is whether they are willing to accept slightly lower profit margins to ensure human dignity. The next time you see a Made in Italy label, remember what you have learned. Behind that label might be a Chinese worker in Prato, sleeping in a cardboard cubicle, working 90 hours a week for 4 euros an hour, so that a luxury brand can charge you 50 times the production cost while marketing Italian craftsmanship and heritage. This is the true cost of luxury, and it is being paid by the workers you will never see.